Adams County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M327-596. Case style of state of Texas versus Patrick Daniel Gallagher. Let the record reflect that Mr. Gallagher is present in court with his attorney Dustin Galmore. Let the record also reflect that state is present with Assistant District Attorney Erica Porter and Kobe Hallfire. State, are you ready?
Thanks, ready.
Defense, are you ready?
Right, Judge.
Mr. Bell, could you please call in the panel? Or what?
We're gonna move.
I know, no, I'm just saying they're not gonna know where to sit because we can put some more chairs out there.
As long as they're spread out. Judge.
Right.
I don't think we're
Right.
gonna-
They're gonna sit in their same spot.
Yeah.
He goes right there. Sure. Kenny. You can come on up, Mr. McKinney, and just sit in that second chair. We're gonna let the record reflect that the panel is present in court. At this time, ladies and gentlemen of the panel, we will have our court coordinator. Ms. Redmond is going to call some names. She's gonna call you one at a time. And when she calls your name, please go up to the jury box. And the bailiff, I think, has some pins in the chairs. He will tell you where to sit. Ms. Redmond, you may proceed.
Good afternoon. When I call your name, please have a seat in the jury box. Tommy Wynn,
Tell me when. Just follow the bailiff.
Crystal Jackson, Deanna Webley, Kurt Wagenhauser, Leon Williams, Seth Frank.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this time, I must administer to you the second of the two oaths that I had mentioned earlier. So at this time, I need each one of you to raise your right hand. And once I administer the oath, please say, "I do." Do you and each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Patrick Daniel Gallagher, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Members of the jury, I will give you some instructions and a general idea of what to expect in this case. Every case is composed of facts and the law as it applies to the particular case. The facts comes from the witnesses on the witness stand. The law comes from the statutes, codes, rules, and court decisions, interpreting them and how they may apply to this case. You and I have equal authority in this case. but it is divided authority. You are the sole judges of the facts, and I'm the sole judge of the law. You are the sole judges of the credibility of the witnesses and the weight to be given their testimony. You can believe all of what a witness says, part of what a witness says, or none of what a witness says. As the trial progresses, the attorneys will probably make objections to questions asked by the other attorney of witnesses, or objections to the introduction of documents or objects. This means that in the objecting attorney's opinion, there is a legal reason why the testimony or document or object should not be received by you. Sometimes I will simply sustain or overrule the objection. At other times, it may require a lengthy discussion outside of your presence. If that happens, I will either ask you to step outside for a few minutes or ask the attorneys to come up to the bench so that you can hear the discussion on the point of law. The reason for this, as I told you earlier, you are the sole judges of the facts you receive, and I'm the sole judge of the law. I can't be with you in the jury room when you deliberate the facts. Therefore, you can't be present or within hearing when I deliberate questions of law. The reason why I will sometimes ask you to step outside is because it is simply the most efficient way to do it. Otherwise, if we were to leave the courtroom, the court reporter would have to gather her equipment and take it with her, and the attorneys would have to gather their files, etc. The rules I do make on questions of law in your presence are not evidence, and you are to disregard them. After all the evidence is in, and both the state and the defendant have rested their cases, the court will prepare and submit to you a written charge instructing you on the law in this case. We will then hear oral arguments from the attorneys. The attorneys have the right to make a summation of the evidence and to make reasonable deductions from the evidence. Since the state has the burden of proof, it has the right to open and close the summation or argument. Until you retire to deliberate, do not discuss this case amongst yourselves, and under no circumstances should you permit anyone to discuss the case with you. Do not attempt to learn from any source outside of the courtroom anything about the facts of the case, nor attempt any independent investigation on your own. Don't visit the scene involved in the facts of the case. Don't read any reports in the newspaper or watch TV reports about the case. Do not make your mind up about this case until all the evidence is in and you have been instructed on the law. Don't take notes during the progress of the trial. Don't visit other courts during a break if a trial or other proceeding is in progress. You have been given tags to wear at all times. Make sure you wear those tags at all times. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are on the panel who were not selected to sit on this case, on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County and behalf of the court staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, we'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to come to court today. It is because of people like you who take time out from your busy schedules to come out to the court that we are able to make sure that justice is done. And so anytime you're in the area, please and come have a seat in the courtroom. I know that earlier when you came to court, you was looking for County Court at Law Number 2 and you saw my name below County Court at Law Number 2. You said, this is Judge Holmes' court. I'm in the right place. Well, this is not Judge Holmes' court. This is your court. And the reason why I say that is because I'm only an humble servant serving the people of Jefferson County. This is your court. Anytime you're in the area, please come and have a seat in your courtroom. Now, you can have a seat in the area behind that wall. We call that the peanut gallery. But it does not mean you can bring peanuts in here and eat, because this is not the Texas Roadhouse. But you can come and have a seat in your court to see what goes on in Jefferson County. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention. Our bailiff have some letters for you. Please feel free to get the letter. And if you need anything from the district clerk's office, I think they may still be open. You can walk right across the hall and they could give you a letter or anything that you need to verify that you were here today. Again, thanks for coming out today. And normally I give everyone a handshake, but we still have COVID in our community. And so at this time, I will give everyone an air handshake. Okay. All right. And you'll now be in the hands of our bailiff. And everyone, please have a blessed day. Now, if you want to stay around, well, we're going to be breaking for the evening at 1:30. If you want to come back to court, we're going to be breaking for the evening to come back tomorrow for 1:30 to start the trial. If you want to come back to the courtroom, you can come back to the courtroom, have a seat there, or you can watch it on YouTube, because all our trials are aired on YouTube. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you are excused and you have a blessed day. Yes.
Can I approach an question? Oh,
Hold on, we just, okay, hold on a minute. The juror number 15 wanted to ask a question. Mr. Galmore and let me do this here. Before what we're gonna do, we're gonna break for the evening. We're gonna need everyone to come back at 1:30. We're gonna start the trial at 1:30 on tomorrow. When you come back to court on tomorrow, just have a seat in the hallway. And then when the trial is ready to start, the bailiff will come and get you. Okay? So at this time, everyone please stand, and then we'll have Mr. Frank to come up after everyone. You can follow the bailiff. Yeah, just follow the bailiff. And the court will be in recess.